and we're going to talk a little bit about the cloud adoption framework. I'm going to bring on our CTO, Matt Sosman. Thank you so much, Matt, for joining me. I really wanted to have this conversation around cloud adoption framework for Azure because lately we've been having a lot of partners that we've helped, and not just myself, but other PPEs here that are getting ready to look into becoming specialized in their Azure practice. They're looking to pursue a lot of the other programs or the incentives along with it. And so they've kind of reached out to me and they've reached out to you and they've reached out to figure out like how do we get around things like building a good Azure practice and passing some of the like the audits and the other requirements that Microsoft has for becoming specialized. And what we've learned is that we kind of get stuck around certain areas of the audit, which includes cloud adoption framework. So I guess I wanted to bring you on because, and you know what, I had to write down my notes here because I was like, there's so many things that I wanted to ask you, but I guess the first question would be, why should partners care, about learning about Microsoft's cloud adoption framework and much less adopt it for their Azure migration practice?
It's a great question. And I'm sure we have a lot of partners on here that are probably wondering what CAF is. And the ones that know what CAF is, they may be wondering, why do I even care? Do I even need to use it? So just to kind of start with the basics here, and we'll talk about the why. But when you think about Azure, and I'm talking about just Azure for a moment, let's leave Microsoft 365 out of it for a minute. Let's leave Dynamics out of it, just Azure. For a client to be able to consume Azure and get value from Azure, they have to have a plan of how they're going to do that. And so CAF at its simplicity is a plan of how you're going to get value out of Azure. And when you think about how do you get value out of Azure, you have to make sure you know the why of Azure in the first place. So when we think about migrating a client to Azure, when we think about maybe deploying new workloads for a client that's already in Azure, if we don't know the why, it's really hard to turn this into a solution that actually resolves a business problem for them to get value. So CAF is all about the why.